Hey, welcome back to another video. We are out here post front. That front came through Florida yesterday, and let me tell you, this is the coldest weather we've had all year. It's really not that bad. It's pretty pleasant, except for when you're in the shade and you got that 20-mile-an-hour wind hitting you. But anyway, today's video is different. We're going to be doing some maintenance on the boat, getting ready for an epic week of fishing. I'm going to do a lot of offshore fishing. I'm going to be doing a couple charters this week. So I'm right at my 100-hour maintenance time interval. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to quickly maintenance your motor and do your typical 100-hour service. It's very simple, guys, if you're out of warranty. And now, disclaimer, I'm not a mechanic by any means, but that's how easy it is. So if you want to save yourself like $1,000 on your 100-hour service, this is an easy way to do it. I'm going to show you the few things that you need. Let's jump in, get to it. This is not a sponsored video, but if you're looking for your supplies or you just want to buy your service kit at a local area, check out Aqua Auto. Chris, give him a call. He'll order everything if he doesn't have it in stock, save you some money. But one of the tools that I did purchase for this particular task is this little Mighty Vac. I think it's $150 right off Amazon, and this is going to help evacuate all of the oil out of the motor without taking all the skirting and everything off. It's very simple. I'll show you how to set it up. First thing you want to do, let's go ahead and pull the dipstick out. As you can see, that oil is nice and black, dirty. With the Mighty Vac, it's a pneumatic vac, and it comes with these straws. It gives you 3 different straws, and then these are designed to be put into where your dipstick holder would go. So I'm just going to literally snake this down in here. All right, so you just feed it all the way down till she reaches the base. Now we hook her up to the Mighty Vac. Go ahead and attach this little nipple. This is going to our vac. Now again, this is a pneumatic vac. So what we have here is our air compressor. I've already allowed it to fill up with air. What we did for this Mighty Vac, guys, is we added this little coupler so that way it could just connect right to it. We got this little coupler. Push that on there like that. You can either let that pump all out and work on something else. We got a water fuel separator to change at the 100-hour, and we also have to change the lower unit oil. And I'm also going to remove my prop to check to make sure there's no line or anything wrapped up in the hub and things like that. So it's up to you, but now we wait. We went ahead and drained all the oil. Keep in mind that Mighty Vac, it's a little slower process, but once you drain the oil, we can go ahead and remove the old oil filter. I'm just going to stuff this little rag down here. I want to see if I can get it off with my hand. A lot of times you can. Okay, I broke her loose right there. Just want to make sure I put this rag in here because I don't want a ton of oil all over the place. And they're a little slippery because I've already been playing with the oil. Try to do this fairly efficiently so we're not making a complete mess. Shouldn't be too bad though. Got a couple little drops in there, nothing too crazy. This thing already looks still brand new. You want to make sure that you look you know, at your manual or consult with your Suzuki dealer to make sure you're buying the proper parts and to check to see how much oil you're actually going to need. So one thing you want to do, guys, whenever you put a new filter on, if you're not familiar, whether it's a car, whatever kind of filter it is, you just want to oil the ring. So this right here, if you do that, put a little light coat of oil on your finger. You know, try not to make a mess. And then just put that on the ring. Just like so. So put that light coat of oil, and that's going to help you to be able to break it loose next time. And I'm just going to pour a little bit of oil inside the oil filter itself. I don't think that's a requirement, but all the way from my auto class days, that's what my auto teacher used to tell us to do. Get it on there, start threading it. Obviously you don't want to make sure you're not misthreading it, because oh my, that could be an expensive bill. And I'm just hand tightening this, guys, but you don't want to over tighten it. You just want that thing to be nice and snug, just like it is. Snug as a bug and a rug. And that's all there is to the oil filter. Boom. So we got 8.5 quarts that we're going to be putting in here. And let's pour the gold. This is semi-synthetic. This is the stuff that Chris recommends over at Aqua Auto. So if he recommends it, I put it in. All right, we got another one of those to do. Another one going in. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to essentially put this 8 quarts in. Then I want to get the dipstick, just check the level. Got my dipstick right here. Pull that out. I'll wipe it, dip it in, pull her out. See where she's at here. So sometimes when you're using the Mighty Vac, obviously you're not draining the oil completely, so you might not get all of it, but you should be able to get most of it. What you do is you start your motor, warm it up, allow it to run through this filter, and then recheck it to see how much you need to add. But it should take a total of 8.5 quarts. It may need a little less if we left a little of the old oil in the motor. She sounds good though. So prior to running the motor, the indicator was saying that the oil was right below the fill level, but once we ran it, everything leveled off, and now we need to put our 1/2 quart in, like the manufacturer suggests. And we're pretty much there. So one thing that's recommended with each oil change is to change out your fuel water separator, especially if you're not running non-ethanol. Now, I run non-ethanol. A lot of people don't because it's a bunch more expensive. And if you use your boat regularly, which I still do, I just feel like it's better for the motor. You still want to make sure you're replacing that fairly regularly, or else you're going to have some issues with water, and you don't want that issue, I promise. Instructions. Coat, tells you everything you need right here. Coat seal with oil. Thread element onto bracket. Tighten securely by hand. While running engine, check for leaks. When it's too tight, oil filter wrench. Once I break it free, it should come out fairly simple. Oh, it's leaking everywhere. All right, just put a little coat on, just like on your oil filter, guys. That way you can actually get it off. You saw us struggle with this one. And then you want to make sure you're careful to thread it back on accordingly. Everything's nice and taut, and you just want to hand tighten that. You don't want to use the wrench. But when you start to run, make sure you look down there, make sure there's no leaks. Some people don't know, especially if you're just starting out with boating. There's 2 sets of oils that you have to change. You have your main oil, engine oil, and then you have your lower unit engine oil, or your gear oil, so to speak. What you got to do is put your oil pan down, so that way we're not getting anything on beautiful Mother Nature. Lay that right under here. Now on the lower unit itself, there's 2 different plugs. There's going to be one at the top of the lower unit. There's going to be one at the very bottom of the lower unit. What you want to make sure you do is first go ahead and open up this top screw. Just take this top screw out. And the reason I like to do this, guys, is because it's going to allow this to flow easier. And now you're going to be looking to see if there's any discoloration or any potential water in your lower unit. And then we're going to also replace these little seals. Each time you change your lower unit, you should be getting the new seals to prevent any water intrusion. So as you can see, actually, gear oil looks really good. This is the bottom, that's the top. It actually looks brand new, to be honest with you. If it was to have water, what you would see is a real like milky type of water or type of fluid. It would look cloudy, kind of like muddy water. So what I'm going to do is I tilt up the motor a little bit just to make sure we get all the excess gear oil out. And it takes a little bit of time. So if you got other things to do, walk away, let it drain, and then we'll get to filling her up. Hey, so I want to let you guys know you're going to need this gear oil pump. Now, you might think they're all universal. They're not. If you have a Suzuki, make sure you get the Suzuki pump. And the reason being is because on this pump, this little lid, Suzuki has a larger lid than a lot of the other standard oil. So if you get a standard pump, it's probably not going to fit. You're going to be mad and you're going to have to go out and buy one, and it's going to slow you down. So if you got a Suzuki, get this particular one. It's a 990CO-99002 part number, if that means anything to you.
Pro tip, buy Yamaha.
Pro tip, buy Suzuki. There's not a whole lot to this. Take this little tube here, put it into the pump. That's what goes into the gear oil or lube. And then inside your little kit, you have a couple little adapters. Now these adapters are going to be, they're going to give you both of the sizes. Depending on which one you have, you're going to want to check. But this threads in to here. And then this part will go into your motor, which I'll show you in just a moment. All right, go ahead and put your adapter in the lower part, not the upper part, guys. I'll show you why in just a second. Now what you want to do is screw this into that adapter. Nobody said it wasn't going to be messy. All right, and you don't want to go ham on it. You don't want to break that plastic thread. Just get it tight, a little snug. There's a little seal on this one. It'll prevent the leakage. I got my gear oil, and this is gear oil SAE 90. Open this baby up. I'm gonna break the seal. It's gonna take this whole thing, so I'm not too worried about that. You're gonna screw this on. Fits on like a glove. Now, once it's tight, you're just gonna pump.
I want to say there's no quick way to do this.
Yeah, there's no real quick way to do this. This is a, you know, pump it nice and patient. It's not hard though. All right, so this is the second bottle. So what we're doing, people ask, how do you know that it's full? Well, it's real simple. Once it's full, the oil will come out the top oil hole here. And that is what you're looking for. So now, like I spoke of earlier, I'm gonna have these little washers. We're gonna take this old seal off, okay? So I got this new seal. I'm just gonna, it's a pretty tight, it's not like a normal washer. Just gonna tighten that baby on there, get it nice and flush, which you'll see it like that. All right, so go ahead and put my top screw in, and you want that baby to be pretty tight, guys. And then I gotta put my other washer on. So on your lower plug, guys, you're gonna notice that this little thing sticks out here. That's a magnet. And what that'll do is you wanna check that, inspect that after you've changed or taken this off. And the reason being is because it'll have shards on it if you're having issues in your lower unit. And if you have shards on it, you probably wanna have that, take a closer look. No shards on mine.
Very little leakage.
Maintenance 101, that's how you change the oil and the lower unit oil in a Suzuki 250. And pretty much most outboards are going to follow the same principles. If you like this video, make sure you give a thumbs up, comment below, and subscribe. If you don't want to deal with this, get all oily and dirty, it's not your thing, you're local, take it to Chris with Aqua Auto. He'll take care of you. Till next time, guys, I'll see you on the water.